Hi guys, it's your favorite dietitian Precious, and today we have something really exciting to talk about. I remember one time I had a client or a friend come to me and she said, oh, I've got a very picky eater. My child doesn't like eating. I give him loads of stuff and he wouldn't just eat it. I'm really frustrated. What do I do? And then I asked certain questions, and I would explain later why I asked those questions. I said, wait, when your child got to 6 months and you introduced complementary feeding, were you feeding him yourself, or did you give him the opportunity to explore the meals by himself? And she said, of course, I was feeding him myself. I mean, he was just 6 months. I only just started introducing him to complementary feeding, and I didn't see the need to allow him get messy, because everywhere was going to be messy if I allowed him to just start feeding himself. And then I asked further, so with certain foods, do you just give any texture to your baby, or do you kind of make the texture a bit softer, like as he started growing up into, when he became 1, when it became 2, did you start introducing certain textures? Or maybe when you try him one particular thing, if he doesn't like it, do you just completely ignore that and don't try it in a different way? And I got the response that I expected to hear from her. And here's the thing, research has shown that most children develop picky eating habits or become picky eaters later on in life if they weren't given the opportunity to really explore, and develop that relationship with food by themselves when they became introduced to complementary feeding. And I understand that most mothers or people would say, well, the child is going to get messy with the thing. More than half of the plate is going to get wasted. The child is not going to eat it either way. So why would I waste all those food, or why would I waste my time having to sit down for my baby to just really explore things himself without me just feeding him? The thing is, if you give the child the opportunity to explore what's on that plate, no matter how messy it can get, you're giving that child the opportunity to learn and to, develop that relationship with food by himself and not feeling forced. Because if the child is feeling forced that you're trying to get him to eat something without giving him the opportunity to explore, they begin to develop picky eating habits. They get fussy with foods. They start being picky with things they want to eat, and you begin to see all these things happening by the time they get to that toddler age, or they start, growing into children. They start bringing out all of the signs. But if you trace back, you notice most times it stems from the fact that they weren't given the opportunity to explore meals. So my mothers, just give them the opportunity today. Let them explore. Let them get messy. Let them, mess everything up. You're allowing them to learn how to personally develop that relationship with food, and you'll find out they will become less picky when they start growing into toddlers and early childhood phase. Another thing as well that you need to know is the texture. Some children could get quite sensitive to certain meal textures, so it's always good to explore a variety of texture with your child and just really understanding and paying close attention to see what texture your child is more willing to accept, or more willing to explore. It helps you very well, because let's say you try to give a child a piece of carrots today and it's quite crunchy, it's quite hard, the child struggled and didn't manage it well. Does that mean you wouldn't give him the carrots again? No, absolutely no. What you can do is maybe try steaming the carrots or making it into a puree to see if the child would accept that. And in most cases, they would accept it if it's a texture that their palate or their taste bud is a bit friendly and, kind of accommodating to. They would accept it. So what you've done is you've given the same food, but in a different way. Or sometimes that maybe you give them just plain rice and stew, and they're like, what's this on the plate? They're not happy, they don't want to try it. You don't need to get frustrated. You can give them that same rice, but in a different way. Maybe try making it into like a rice pudding, or making it into like a snack or something. Just being explorative in the kitchen, trying to make something or create something out of the common that the child would try. And sometimes it's all about exploration, it's all about variety that makes the child excited and wanting to try these things. I know it's quite a lot of work that you're putting in as a mom to get your child to eat, but at the end of the day, you need to think about different ways to explore to get your child to eat. Particularly if you've got a child that is quite picky or quite fussy with food, you need to really explore and understand their needs, and just try your best as much as possible to offer things in different ways, in different forms to your child. I hope you found this episode quite helpful. Well, if you did, please don't forget to hit the like button, share, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more educative and informative posts and stories like this. Until next time, I remain your favorite dietitian, Precious. See ya. Bye.